Hello, and welcome to CG Rated Books. Welcome back from the national holiday. I hope everybody had a wonderful celebration, spent time with friends and family. I know I had to work myself that day, but I did get a chance to spend some of the day with family, enjoyed some great food, and made it out safely. Didn't get a chance to get out to see many fireworks or anything like that. Just got a chance to spend some time at work, collect some of that holiday pay, and then got home and had some wonderful, wonderful food and family time. So that was really great for me. So I really wanted to take this opportunity to share my July rip list with you guys. Yes, it is not quite the same as a TBR list, in my opinion. So, my rip list is a currently reading in progress. These are books that are being read, and if there's an additional book that has not been started, it will definitely be read. Now, I've noticed that a lot of TBRs usually end with books that haven't been read. They don't get touched sometimes. I don't want to do that. We already know that I have a very peculiar way of getting books, and getting a chance to read them is almost mandatory. So I am behind as far as submitting my book reviews. Got a long list of book reviews to do. This past couple of weeks have been very grueling. Lots of onset with work, a little bit of I don't want to say really illness. I've undergone a 15-day detox, and it has put me under the weather a bit. Then the holidays, and then of course I work full time. So let that stand as an apology for not having my channel updated as often as I should. That won't happen very often, but it did happen this past couple of weeks. So the last video, I think, is about 2, maybe 3 weeks old. Won't continue to happen. Anyway, let's go ahead and dig into these titles that I've got. I've got them set down right here. So the first one we've got is actually, it was a TBR. It was a June TBR. It did not get read. This is A Collision of Dreams by George Dalton. Now, this particular book, this author is a Texan. Yes, he's a Texan. So, ooh-ah! But this is a Western romance story. So, lots of action. It's been really good. So, very beginning, first chapter, the guy steps on scene, and he encounters a woman being harassed. He basically falls in love with her at first sight and ends up killing the guy right there who's being disrespectful and assaulting the woman. So it starts off with some action. Not a lot of complexity in the dialogue or the writing method, but that will be completed here in July. Practically halfway through, almost. Collision of Dreams by George Dalton. The next title we have is Midnight Champaigne by, if I can remember to say this correctly, A. Manette Ansay, right? A. Manette Ansay, A Midnight Champaigne, a novel. Now, this particular one is a little bit different. It is a domestic quarrel that ends in tragedy. A couple haven't been together very long, fall in love, decide to get married, and the marriage comes as a surprise to both sides of the family. And during the wedding day events, there's tragedy. So this is also a very easy, very quick, short read, 200 pages. Midnight Champaigne. Now, also from, pardon me for going off camera there, Also a June TBR as well. This is why I don't really refer most of my list books as TBRs, because I do want to read them. And I noticed that across the board, nothing wrong with it really, but I noticed that a lot of times TBRs get unread, and TBRs sometimes turn into DNFs. I get my books from a very weird process of finding them in different locations. Now, I did not mention that, but both Midnight Champaigne and A Collision of Dreams are books that were found at my VA free clinic, VA clinic free library, the VA clinic free library. So this title, The London House, also a VA clinic free library grab. So these books are technically mine, but I will probably pass them on. I could hold on to them. But The London House by Katherine Reay. This one here is a very interesting story, a little bit thicker, very tight text. This one is the Britain's World War II spy network, right? So this is the tale about a particular family that has a lot of family drama in the World War II setting. I'm really interested in getting into this one here, but it is a thicker title, and I can get these first two knocked out pretty doggone quick. So we're going to focus on those two first, then we're going to get into this one here. So technically a TBR, but this is a rip for me, a reading in progress. Lovely book. I'm anxious. It has to deal with spies and espionage and family drama. Yeah. So, London House. Now, something that I haven't done before and I am starting to get into now, and I'm really excited about it, is I am diving into the world of graphic novels. So the adult comic book is hitting my desk, and we are starting off with some outstanding titles, right? So first title that we have, actually it's going to be so this is book 1 and book 2 of Verse. Now this is Sam Beck. He is the author, and it looks like Sonia Synak is the, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is the illustrator. Really exciting work. Full color graphic novels. Verse is a fantasy book. It's based on magic and portals and weird creatures, and I guess you can really borderline witches, right? Borderline witches and warlocks, but the basic premise of this story is magic used to be wielded by everybody, and something has happened, and humans have lost the ability to wield magic, right? But there are certain spells or verses that they can use to try and give the appearance of being able to use magic. So the main protagonist, twofold, right, comes across, there's actually two of them, so two protagonists, they work as a team. The main protagonist, the main story individual, decides he's a blacksmith, and he wants to go into the big city and learn from the best. And on his way to the big city, he ends up coming across a very strange woman who doesn't know who she is, who comes off with the appearance that she is one of these mystical beasts. Now, this story opens up with humans not being able to wield magic, but there is a species that can wield magic, but they are evil or demonic in nature, right? And so they can't, they're the only ones that can actually use magic. And this young lady, she shows up, she kind of looks like one of these beasts, and she has the ability to use verse in a more magical way. So the main character and his co-star are now trying to find ways of being able to return their realm back to its natural state, with everybody being able to have the power to use magic. Very, 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 very interesting story. Come to find out, unfortunately, I have book 1 and book 2 of a 3-book series. So book 3 doesn't come out until September. I did not realize that this is a current, an up-to-date, my thing about checking out books is I don't necessarily follow the up-to-date or the trending titles. I normally just look for something to read, and if it catches my eye, catches my attention, then I'm going to read it. So I ended up coming across this particular one, and it's pretty amazing. So this one was released in 2022, it looks like. And so book 3 is being released this coming September. So, okay, yes. So book 1 was released in 2021, book 2 was released in 2022, and book 3 is coming in September of 2024. So current rip list versus, or verse. Trust me, very interesting story. I'm anxious to get, I've already finished these two up, anxious to get to book 3, right? And last but not least, another graphic novel. This one here has really, oh my gosh, full color graphic novel. Vera Greentea's Grimoire Noir. Hardback. Yes, hardback. Now this particular one, now the graphics are done by Yana Bogach. Yana Bogach. And I'm trying to tell you, the illustrations on this full color, she is amazing. She is amazing. The art in this title is outstanding. The book itself, everything. So this is another fantasy tale, and this is a town of witches. Women are the only ones that are able to use magic, and they have been held captive in a local town, right? But they're free. They're not necessarily, they're a secret. So the town doesn't want it out or to be known that they have a town of witches. So witches are unable to leave, but they're free to live in the city. I guess you could say in captivity, but free, but in captivity. Anyway, very, very, very wonderful story. The illustrations, the book itself is magnificent. This is my July rip. So the full book review will be coming soon. Yeah, and that is my July rip list. I will take an opportunity to, I'm an old veteran, right? And I love acronyms. They're really cool for me. I don't know. They mean something to me. So the difference between a TBR, an RIP, and a WTR, I'm going to submit a video just explaining about how those all are perceived by me as well. So I don't normally do a whole lot of TBRing, because I noticed that TBRs are usually books that you have on hand that you plan on reading at one point, right? I don't keep a lot of books on hand, for one. Most of the books that I currently own are in storage. And so I don't really have a lot that I keep on hand with me. And if a title is something that is going to interest me, it's more of a WTR than a TBR. And the WTR is a want to read it, and a TBR is basically a book that I already own that I plan on reading. So I'll get into more details later, but just so that you understand how I, rock a little bit. Anyway, I want to thank you for taking some time and visiting with me today and watching my video. Hope you have a wonderful day. And you guys are going to get some more videos. Like I said, I'm going to have a lot more coming at you a lot more frequently. All right? You guys have a wonderful day.